Issues with time here. First of all, let's write this down here. We have our smallest measurement of time is a second. We know that 60 seconds equals what? 1 minute. And 60 minutes equal 1 hour. And 24 hours equal 1 day. I suppose the next thing is 7 days equal 1 week. I don't know how far they go. Some of these are a little different. Yeah, you have to be careful because months are all goofy. We could go. You can't really say how many days in a month because they're all different, but we know that there's 12 months equals 1 year. Now, 365 days, which doesn't work out very well, equals what the book calls, because we have to delineate between these two. 365 days is what the book calls a common year. Why do they call it common year, not just a year? Because sometimes every, 3 or 4 years we have 366 days, and that is a leap year. What day of the month do we add that extra day onto? February 29th. I believe it is there. Got those down? Because then we have a few more to go.
No. Yay.
We have 10 years equals 1 decade. 100 years, which is 10 decades, equals 1 century. 1,000 years, which is 10 centuries, equals 1 millennium. And you guys weren't around for it, but not so very long ago, when we flipped the year 2000, we had all of those change in 1 year. There was a new decade, a new century, and a new millennium. And that won't happen again until the year 3000. Which you guys won't be alive. I'm pretty sure not. You guys probably won't even make it to the next century, because you were born in what year?
2006.
You have to be 94 years old to make it to the next century, so that's probably. You might make 94. By then, now, some of the stuff that gets a little tougher. Oh, back there for a second. What is it? Why? Where do we come up with, the number of days? Where do we come up with a day? Why do we call a day a day? What is a day? Talking about the earth that we live in. A day is, Lauren. Yeah, but what happens every 24 hours that makes it a day? And if our day wasn't 24 hours, we'd all be screwed up because sometimes 5 o'clock would be nighttime, sometimes it would be daytime, sometimes it would be. What happens in 1 day, Madison?
Well, lighting changes.
But what is a day though? Yes, it does. We go from day to night and back again. We start where you're at. Aaron?
Yes, Earth spins.
Yeah. A day, here's our little lovely Earth algebra. A day is the amount of time it takes the Earth to rotate 1 time. We're spinning so fast, the Earth is like 24,000 miles around. Okay? It is spinning at the rate of about 1,000 miles an hour. Because in an hour, you go all the way around one. Then that's what makes day and night, because the sun stays still. We're spinning like this.
Looks like, so to us, it looks like the sun is spinning.
Well, to us it does. It looks like the sun moves in the night. It moves around the sky, but it's actually the Earth spinning around. And then what is a year? The year is the amount of time it takes the Earth to do what? Zach?
One full spin.
No, that's a day. Earth spins once in a day. In a year, John,
It goes around 365 times.
yes, it does. But what is the main event that happens in a year? What does the Earth do every year? Ella? Exactly, yeah. So here's the Earth. While the Earth is spinning on its axis, or rotating on its axis, it's also revolving around the sun. So it spins two different ways. You know, it's spinning around and it's floating around. Here's the sun. In a year, the Earth makes its little journey all the way around the sun one time, and it gets back here. That is 1 year. It takes us 365 of those days to make one orbit around the sun. And usually the sun has like sunglasses on. What's kind of neat is the sun doesn't.
It's too bright for his own face.
And that's what, you know, that is what a year is, and we split the year, the months and all the days and all that stuff. Somebody sat down and did the calendar, and I don't know why. You know, the bad thing about working with time is it's not in tens. You know, like money. Money's easy to work with because everything's tens. There's, 10 cents and 100 cents make up $1, whatever. Well, that's not the way it works with minutes and hours. You know, it's 10 minutes doesn't make an hour, and 10 seconds doesn't make a minute, so you have to do a whole bunch of different stuff when you do math and that sort of stuff here. And it's my hope, I guess we also have to talk about this. We've got our clock system here. We start with 12 o'clock, and then 1 o'clock, and 2 o'clock, 3 o'clock, 4 o'clock, 5 o'clock, 6 o'clock, I'm gonna run out of room here, 7 o'clock. Okay, we generally think of starting our day, usually starts at 12 o'clock midnight. Most of you aren't up at 12 midnight, but that's the start of a new day. Now, it's 12 o'clock, we split our days into AMs and PMs because not only do we have 12 o'clock there, we have another 12 o'clock that is noon. I should probably put 9 o'clock, 10 o'clock, 11 o'clock, and we'll go back over here. Now we have another 12 o'clock in the day, and another 1 o'clock, and another 2 o'clock, and another 3 o'clock, and another 4 o'clock, and another 5 o'clock, and 6 o'clock, 7 o'clock, and 8 o'clock, and 9 o'clock, and 10 o'clock, and 11 o'clock. And then it starts all over with that. Is 12 o'clock midnight AM or PM? AM or PM, Matt?
AM.
Alright, 12 o'clock midnight is AM. And all of these are all the morning hours. This is all morning, and they are all AMs. And then when you get to 12 o'clock noon, wow, it doesn't like to write there. Noon, maybe I'll put it over here. Huh. I can't even write noon. Noon, let's put it here and point it here right there. Then you get to the afternoon times, and those are all PM times. Everything here will be PM. We get out of school about 3 o'clock PM, not AM, because that would be really early in the morning. Make sure you know those sort of things there. And that gets a little confusing too. In the military, because when you're fighting battles and wars, you don't want to get really confused about, what time you want the planes to come pick you up. It's all very, very exact. And if you say 7 o'clock, you don't want to have to worry about somebody getting mixed up the AM and the PMs. With military time, what do? Madison?
They just go 13, 14, 15,
Right.
16.
They start, this 12 o'clock is 100 hours. 100, 200, 300, 400, 500. And then when they get to this one here, that's 1200 hours. 13, they just keep adding 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22. 2,300 hours would be 11 o'clock at night, am I right? Yeah.
My dad has military time on his phone.
Yeah, and a lot of times people put that on their watches just because there's no way somebody could get confused. If you say, pick me up at 700 hours, you know that's 7 o'clock in the morning, not 7 o'clock at night. 7 o'clock at night is 1,900 hours, because you keep adding 12 to all that stuff. And a lot of times watches will let you set it for military time or whatever time. But, that's a good way for things to remember there. And then, last but not least, well, turn to page 174, actually. Let's just talk about these. You should be at the 5th grade level pretty familiar with time. I mean, it should